What you wanna know? What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here with the first episode of What Do You Want to Know of 2015. And I'm sure the first thing that you want to know is, where can I get one of these fresh teas, bruh? Answer is you can't. It's a one-of-a-kind, man. One-of-a-kind C-Town airbrush tight-ass tee. I was cleaning out my closet and ran across this, and I was like, oh man, why don't I ever wear that shirt? And I remember this because it shrunk a whole bunch when I washed it. So now, like, it's almost like a crop top. Like, I can't ever reach for anything. My belly button is just chilling, like out in the air. Just like, what up? Because this is actually a youth large, and I've drank quite a bit of alcohol since I got this shirt, and this no longer fits. So, yeah, there's a story there that you guys weren't even asking about and probably don't care about. But I'm telling you anyway, because it's my channel. What you gonna do? Nothing. So yeah, let's get into the first question here. My username is Trash said, what's up, Myke? First of all, I wanted to say that I'm a big fan of yours on DHH and on your individual channel. You're like one of the coolest dudes on YouTube to me. I can't. Thank you. I would say that I'm a fairly confused teenager. I'm 16, a junior in high school, and my life sucks. My girlfriend broke up with me, and my grades are terrible, and I don't know where I want to go after I graduate. Can you give me some advice on how to better myself mentally and emotionally? Because right now, I'm totally confused. You're a confused teenager. Bro, all teenagers are confused. That's what being a teenager is all about. Finding yourself, figuring your shit out. If you told me you were 16, you had it all figured out, I'd say you're either full of shit or you really don't yet know what the world is all about. So let's run down your list of issues real quick, okay? First one, your girlfriend broke up with you. At least you had one, dude. Some people go through high school the whole time not having a single girlfriend. I mean, not me, you know what I'm saying? Cause your boy, I was slaying these chicks, you know what I'm saying? I was running through them like week-old chili cheese puffs from Crystals on an empty stomach. You heard me? I mean, nah, I really wasn't. I really wasn't doing any of that. But I'm just saying, like, you're 16. There will be plenty more women in your life, okay? Trust me. You will fall in love. You will fall out of love. You know, you will give a girl your heart. That girl will take your heart. She will tear it in half. She will stomp on it. She will pick it back up. She will eat it. She will induce vomiting. She will throw it back up. She will eat it again. She will shit it out, and she'll hand it back to you. This will happen probably more than once, man. So go ahead and get prepared. This is life, my man. You know, eventually you'll find a girl that, you know, she'll take that mangled up, pukey and shit-stained heart, and she'll treasure it. She'll treasure it like the last slice of pizza the day after binge drinking. Alright? And that is the girl that you will marry. Not this one that just broke your 16-year-old heart. Alright? Your grades are terrible. Alright, fix it. Dude, study. Get better grades, man. Barring any actual disabilities, anyone can get decent grades, man. You know, it's just a matter of memorization and applying yourself. That's it. I didn't get awesome grades. I was a solid B student, I'd say. Only class I got a bad grade in was PE. I got a D. That kind of hurt me. But other than that, I was okay, man. But if you're really stressed about it, get a tutor, you know? Maybe she'll be hot. Maybe she'll be hot and you guys will develop, like, this romance like you're on Saved by the Bell or Dawson's Creek or some shit. You don't know where you want to go after you graduate. Dude, I didn't either. And you know how I fucked up? I went ahead and went straight to college after graduation and tried to figure it out there. You know, I graduated in June and I started college, I believe, in August, which was a stupid ass idea. Take my advice on this. Take a year off, dude. Take a year off. Think about what your talents are. Think about what your passions are. Then go to college. You have the time. Don't waste it fucking off doing shit that you think you're supposed to do because the status quo says so. if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right, okay? So all in all, dude, you're okay, man. You're confused, but like I said, that's really what being a teen is about. Your life doesn't suck. Your life is normal, man. This is life. You don't know life sucking until you've gotten out of your parents' house, out of high school, and gotten into the workforce and realized, man, this shit fucking sucks, all right? You're young. Just, man, calm down. Don't get too down on yourself, man. Don't stress yourself out too much. You have a shit ton of fucking up to do. So don't waste all of your, oh man, what am I going to do? I fucked up emotions so early on in life. You're going to need those later on. Trust me. Next question. Emilio Videla. You know what? Emilio Videa, I think that's right, said, have you ever experimented with drugs at all? Are you a cop? Because if you're a cop, I ain't answering shit, bruh. Not really, man. As I've said before, I was straight edge all through high school and into my 20s. I gave up straight edge in my mid-20s, I'd say. And I only moved on into drinking. Drug use never really interested me. Now that doesn't mean that I'm condemning any and all type of drug use for other people. If you're mature enough to handle that stuff and you don't think you have an addictive personality like a large majority of the population does, then hey, man, more power to you, man. It's none of my business. But it's just not for me. I've had a few encounters with weed, but the few times I smoked, I was already wasted on alcohol. And I say smoked with the air quotes because I don't really know how to inhale. So, I mean, like, I went through this short period of time where I thought smoking looked really cool, like smoking cigarettes. Actually, I still think it looks cool. But I wanted to be a smoker so bad. Like, I tried a few times and it didn't go very well. This usually happened when I was drunk too. I remember I remember one time after a drunken night, I woke up the next day and went in the bathroom to wash my face, and my nose was on fire, burning, and there was like this burn mark right in the front of it that hurt like a bastard. So as per usual in those days, I had to text a few friends to ask them what had happened the night before because I had little to no recollection. Turns out that apparently I'd gotten drunk and decided that I was going to be cool and smoke one of my friend's cigarettes. Turns out somehow I had turned the cigarette backwards and totally missed my mouth when trying to smoke it and ended up burning the shit out of my nose. So yeah, cigarettes and C-Town just don't mix. Wait, speaking of funny stories about drugs, I remember my first encounter with weed. I was dating this girl, and her roommate was a chef. Like, he'd gone to, like, some chef school in France or some shit. And, me and her, we had come back to her apartment one day, and her roommate and his friend were sitting in the living room hanging out. And he said to both of us, hey, I have space brownies if you guys want any. And Myke, they're vegan. My dumbass, I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck are space brownies? I remember thinking, like, maybe that means they're out of this world or something. But I was like, shit, if they're vegan, I'm all in. So I ate one and thought, it's good, but there's a nasty ass aftertaste to this. I don't know what it is, but But I didn't want to say anything, so I didn't have to offend anyone, so I just kept my mouth shut. Well, my girl ate about 4 because her ass was greedy as shit. She came speeding into the living room, totally freaking her shit, man. Just pacing all fast back and forth. It was like you took one of those zombies from 28 Days Later and put it in a straight hallway. You know what I'm saying? Just going back and forth real fast. And she starts rambling about how, oh, this stuff can't be here. It just can't. It's all wrong. Meanwhile, her roommate and his friend are sitting back cracking up laughing. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell happened to my girl? Like, why is she acting like this? He says, well, she ate too many brownies. Last time I checked, though, a sugar rush didn't do no shit like this. So I'm still sitting there looking confused as hell. He says, dude, there's pot in the brownies. They're pot brownies. And I was like, oh. So that's when I learned that pot affects everyone differently. Some people, they get all floaty. Some people like me, it doesn't really do anything to them at all. Then there's others like my girl, it makes her paranoid, right? So I basically had to grab her, take her into her room. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, man. I had to take her in the room, lay her down, and hold her until she could fall asleep. I had to hold her like she was a fucking drug fiend. She's in the bed shivering like Pookie. Now, this is ridiculous. Off some fucking weed. Well, at least that's what he told me it was weed. I hope it wasn't no other shit, but at any rate, yeah. All that to say, nah, I haven't had much experience with drugs. I feel like at this point in my life, I look like a total turd, trying out drugs. How does that look, you being in your mid-30s and trying out coke for the first time? Like, what kind of loser are you? But I've had a lot of friends who handle drugs very responsibly. I also know a lot of people who don't. I've had friends die from drug overdoses, unfortunately, and, being in the punk scene where that shit is rampant, I've seen it destroy people. So, honestly, I figure you're safer just staying away from it, drugs are bad, okay? Last question. Real Jim Shady said, "Hey Myke, big fan of DHH and the stuff on your own channel. You've introduced me to some awesome music and my new favorite poet, Charles Bukowski. Given your collection of physical music that's continuously growing, my question is, what do you think about this vinyl subculture that's been increasing? Is it positive that people are showing such enthusiasm for music? Or do you think that it's misguided people that buy vinyl because it's cool?" I think the resurgence is a good and a bad thing, like anything that involves popular culture. The good thing is you no longer have to be looked at as a weirdo, for wanting to dig through pawn shops and thrift stores for records. It also makes it a bit easier when shopping for records because everyone carries them now. Records are distributed more. But the bad thing is all of these major distributors that have jumped on the bandwagon, because, vinyl is no longer isolated to this small group. It's not a small niche market anymore. It's now not only available to the large masses, it's also attractive to them. So you have places like Urban Outfitters and Best Buy and other, mainstream retailers jumping on it. Then you have these asshole labels who think because of the resurgence, it's cool to start jacking up prices on records. And, these are the motherfuckers who are going to totally kill this resurgence because, at some point people are going to say, fuck you. I'm not paying $35, $45, $55 for this fucking record. I also have a problem with these people who now think that all records are valuable. You might show up at some record store and some dickhead has crappy beat up copies of like the Doobie Brothers, or Pink Floyd's The Wall. He has it priced at $75, dude, because he thinks that since it's on vinyl, it's automatically a collector's item, which is absolutely ridiculous. Do I think it's positive that people are showing enthusiasm for music? Of course. Anytime people are showing appreciation for art, in general, it's a positive thing. Whether it's people who truly appreciate the music and the medium, or people who just want to look cool by having, a bunch of records, I don't know, and I don't really care that much, man. The people who are just following a trend, the trend will die out. You remember, the way these types of trends go and the way these people think is the more people that jump on this trend, the lamer the trend becomes to them. It's not cool anymore, and the less these trendy people want to be involved in this trend. So they'll just move on to something else that they think is cool, like, colored fat laces or trucker hats. Well, I don't know. Are trucker hats cool again? They probably are. I don't fucking know. Then those jackasses will take their collections to their local record store and sell them for fucking pennies, and nerds like me who actually appreciate them will show up and scoop them all up. I've been a fan of records since I was a kid. I grew up on records. I grew up owning and wanting physical media. The MP3 thing came around once I was already collecting music, so, unless forced, I will never accept MP3 or digital music as a primary source for owning or listening to music. I can't say the same for these fad jumpers, so I say, let them do what they want, man. Who fucking cares? So that's it for this edition of What Do You Want to Know? As usual, please keep sending me your questions. You can send them through my Twitter by hashtagging WDYWK. You can also put them on the discussion board of my YouTube, and you can also submit them as questions on my Tumblr. Alright? So, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I will see you guys next time. Alright?